Oh,
we are live.
we are live. I wondered when you were going to join.
How are you doing?
I'm good. You're coming out my earphone now. So, yes, I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. How's your week been without me?
Missing you.
Yeah, of course. I was off gallivanting around. Have you ever been to Madeira?
No.
It's a volcanic island, Portuguese volcanic island off pretty much the coast of Africa, and it's basically like a hiking, hotspot, and it feels like Jurassic Park when you're there. So I was constantly, every time something magical happened, I was like, you've seen Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, but no dinosaurs.
No
there.
dinosaurs, no, just us,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, but it was also quite rainy as well.
I saw the social posts, the videos you made. The social what am I saying? Like the Instagram stories.
The stories, yeah.
The Snapchats.
The Snapchat, mate. I ain't on Snapchat. Don't drag me down.
You're.
Are you on
I'm on Snapchat. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
I'm a daily user of Snapchat, so I have my friends on Snapchat, and that's how we know who's up to what. It's just kind of like a quick check-in, what your friends are up to.
With your homies.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
So
I like.
So what have you been building then since I've been gone? What's your agent been up to?
Gosh, a lot. One of them is, I'm not sure if I want to share it now. It's like the one that I showed to you, but I'm not sure if I should share it online yet until maybe later on, or I will anonymize the information. We're planning a trip to Croatia, and I made a website for it to share with the boys. So everybody knows what we have to pack, and where we're going, how is the weather going to be. Yeah, you saw it. It's like
cute,
packed with information and beautiful. It's a really good design, isn't it?
Well, I mean, maybe you can show it when we go over the unreasonable effectiveness as HTML, but that basically is exactly what it's for, right?
Yeah, it's quite nice to have it that visual. Yeah,
you can't be sending your homeboys Markdown, can you? You can't be sending them Markdown.
No, they don't read even the big H1, let alone the hashtags in a markdown.
Mate,
no,
I've planned a trip in the past. I know exactly how lads are when it comes to, or people even. Maybe if you're a girl, you can chime in here if you've ever had to organize a trip. Getting anyone to do anything is like a friggin' slog. But
yeah. Like if I send them an MD file, they will say this is code. That's That's what they will tell me. So
I mean, I've got a video coming out on what I've been building. I'm quite excited about, and it was. I want to do more videos on like actually building stuff and showing what I'm building and how I build it and whatever. So it was really nice to get a sponsor who gave me something to work with and actually build something quite exciting. So yeah, it was all we revealed, but it was a drag and drop video thing that had subtitles to our videos, and it was just nice. Just I like building stuff. Like I would like to do more of it. So go to samuelgregory.co.uk and hire me.
So I build for you. Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun. I'm sure I built something else. I mean, I've been adding a lot of automations and stuff to N8N, which has sometimes used AI, sometimes hasn't. Just because, again, I think that's the golden age we're in as like entrepreneurs, that we can do so much more now, rather than hiring a team of people or working longer hours. It's like, we can do all that ourselves, a bit of investment, and then every week then it compounds. Saying that, like, I had I recorded 2 videos yesterday. I did a bunch of updates to the N8N stuff that I've got going on. I actually finished my work like on time, early. I finished my work early. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop working now, because there's such a temptation just to keep working into the evening, or get this done or get that done. And I was like, nah, it's still light outside. I'm gonna enjoy my evening.
Yeah, just one more prompt. It is quite addictive because you build and then you immediately see the result. And also there is this gambling aspect of it. Like it can get you really good results, and then you get stuck at like a small detail. So
you don't want to try and have to pick up where you left off the day before. You want to try and round it off like nicely, but then that can of worm gets opened up, and that can of worms gets opened up, and this and the other. But, anyway, I've got a hard stop, so I think we should try and kick the show off if we can.
Definitely.
I haven't seen an intro from you, so you're gonna have to wing it.
We true. We were like talking about okay, well, we'll just go through it. And are we going to talk about the OpenAI stuff, right, as well?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, why not? What are you drinking? What is that in your hand?
As always, sparkling water.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
What are you asking?
What is that in your hand?
Well, I've got a microphone and I've got a bottle of water.
Yeah, that one.
Bottle of water. Leave. That's racism.
By the way, before we start, your video is getting stuck quite often. I don't know why. It's like lagging, and like it freezes, and I'm not sure, but I think it also your voice that freezes as well. Can you check on YouTube maybe?
I'm doing that.
I will check as well. So your voice that freezes as well.
Let's rewind.
So when you had like the bottle up in a questionable position.
What, in my mouth?
Yeah.
It looks okay on YouTube. Maybe people can pitch in wherever you are.
So maybe it's just me having too many instances of Claude Code and Terminal. I probably have like...
It is. There's no one in my house right now, so that's why I was so surprised. It's like I'm the one eating up all the bandwidth right now. So anyway, for what it's worth, for who's on YouTube, give us a like. Give us a little like. Anyway, let's trust in the process.
Yeah, we have a lot to cover, so let's go. All right, so give me so this week we have OpenAI's new security model. We have Apple, who's going to pay $250 million to settle the AI lies that they've been telling everyone. We'll talk about that. Anthropic. We have actually quite a few news from Anthropic, especially a deal with SpaceX. That's a big one. Perplexity's new Mac app. We have a new model with a new technology. I'm not sure how to describe it. That's above my paid grade, but Subquadratic first subquadratic LLM with 12 million token context. Crazy stuff. More Anthropic news, and we have updates to Webflow plans and pricing, along with something from Lovable, which we'll talk about. All of that and more, the HTML versus MD file one, more in today's episode. This is Cmd+AI. I'm Kabarza.
And I am Samuel Gregory, and this is a bottle of water.
So let's go through the news. We have quite a lot, especially because we weren't here last week. So
yeah. So last week, quietly announced, was a new cybersecurity model from OpenAI this time, a challenger to the great Mythos. And we all laughed when they said, no, you can't have that. But now OpenAI have practically done the same thing. They have released a cybersecurity model called GPT-5.5 Cyber. Let me share the article with you. And they have only released it to the privileged few. OpenAI is preparing to launch a new frontier cybersecurity model, GPT-5.5 Cyber. CEO Sam Altman said the model will not be available to the general public, but will be first to roll out to a select group of trusted cyber defenders in order for institutions to shore up their cyber defenses. Now, it's really interesting because, like I say, we kind of sort of laughed and it was a bit... the Prime Agent said something along the lines of, he phrased it in such a way, but there's a bit of like a snobbery when it comes to Anthropic, and holier than thou is the phrase he used. And it was sort of exemplified when Mythos first came out, but clearly OpenAI have done the same thing. And I do wonder why it's gone that way. I mean, we've seen the NPM worm that got released, the Shard Habud something or other, which is quite worrying, actually. I think the best thing to do right now is to kind of shelter in place, almost not like NPM install anything, because Tanstack got infected by it. I don't really know the updates on it. Maybe some people can chime in on those updates, but cybersecurity is becoming a big deal. And obviously, I think this will get released. I thought about it earlier. I think this will get released to the public when they have a better model. Do you know what I mean? So that that these cyber attackers will never have the best model, sort of thing. But anyway, I'm digressing here. The limited rollout will take place in the next few days, Sam Altman said on X. We'll work with the entire ecosystem and the government to figure out our trusted access for cyber. It's not clear who will get access to the model first, though previous trusted access schemes involve vetted professionals and institutions. Okay, so they've not actually announced who's going to get this thing yet. It must be like a pre-released thing. Let's have a look at Sam Altman's tweet. We're starting to roll out GPT 5.5 Cyber, frontier cybersecurity model to critical cyber defenders in the next few days. We'll work with the entire ecosystem and the government to figure out trusted access. That was on the 30th, so it was actually 2 weeks ago. Oh, we're really behind on this. I thought it was just because I was away on holiday, but I wasn't paying attention, clearly. But I think that's kind of it. Let me check my notes here as well. Need to roll out. No technical details. White House is separately pushing back on Anthropic's plans to expand Mythos access. Growing industry trend. Frontier models being branded too dangerous for mass release. So I think that's the kind of headline thing here, is that it's becoming either it is a holier than thou thing, or it's a privileged few. It's a pay to play kind of thing, or they know some stuff that we don't.
Yeah, with Mythos, we had some proof. That's like not exactly, but
they released more, right?
We had they said like these are bugs that we have found, and that's why it was so impressive. With OpenAI, not so much. But on a similar note, I learned something. I don't know where I read it or a video I watched. hackers are using the current models, like just 4.7, 4.6, whatever, and they are using other open weight models to take on a security task and break it down into pieces with a dumber, like open model, open weight model. They are breaking down the pieces of the task, like how to hack something, into chunks of prompts, essentially, or like smaller tasks that do not sound like hacking something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they're sort of
Yeah,
just disguising their actions. Is that right?
exactly. They are disguising their actions, making it in small chunks, giving it to a smart model to do it, and then the results are, or like the other way around. I'm not sure, but yeah, they are essentially making it like a big task. They are breaking it down to smaller ones to do it. So maybe you don't necessarily, the point here is that maybe you don't necessarily need a big model to do this for you. Maybe all it takes is like these security experts. If you know what you are doing, I
Exactly. I think that's what
suspect,
it is.
yeah, you know how to prompt your way around doing something maybe without even saying it. Like I would go there and be like, hack Mark Zuckerberg. But
Mhm.
a security expert might be, much more delicate than that.
I did see an article somewhere. I'm just trying to search for it, but a company was notified of a security bug with which they patched, and I don't know whether it was a cybersecurity firm. I don't know whether they were using Mythos. I don't know anything really much more than I'm sure companies are starting to find out about cyber or vulnerabilities more so than anything. But to your point, yeah, like I think with that comes like a deep knowledge of the systems and just being clever about it, thinking outside the box. I think is the term to summarize what you're saying. Like they don't need the smartest model if they can think outside the box with dumber models. But with the npm thing that happened recently, that was probably like, again, I think this was the Primogen. He said, like, there's so many safeguards in some of the frontier models that it was most probably done with an open source model, and to sort of bypass some of the nefarious activity that they were getting it to do. And again, this is a really a destructive thing that happened, really destructive thing, and this would have been done with a dumber open source model. So yeah, it's a bit of a wild west out there. And I think they were all this battle will rage on, though. This battle has raged on for centuries, it seems like, where the hackers, you kind of need them. You get what do they call them, the white hat hackers, who hack things and then tell you,
Yeah.
like, there's a vulnerability here. I do think goodness will prevail. However, it's an ongoing battle. There will always be cybersecurity hacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on, because time is of the essence, and that's about all I've got. Unless you've got anything else to say.
No, that's it.
Cool. Let me move some stuff down, because I've zoomed in because I've got a demonstration on something for later on, and everything's all massive big thing. So the Apple are to pay $250 million to settle a Siri class action lawsuit, and I've just set off my devices. So you remember the iPhone 16? You remember Apple Intelligence that got released, and it was going to be the coming of Christ, and it was going to know exactly what you're doing at all times, and give you context awareness and do this and that. And you had that girl, if you can, I don't know whether you're allowed to call them a girl, to be honest, but you've got that person. Let me just share my tab here. Running into someone, and not knowing when they knew them from. Oh, I'm sharing my screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
This person here. You remember all this? Well, they sold you a phone. They sold you a phone, right?
Yes. Yes.
On the premise that you will have Apple Intelligence, but you never got it,
Still
and you
haven't
still
seen
don't have
it.
it. Still haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I've got the 15, just to say, and this was the first phone to have Apple Intelligence. I'm not sure it was sold under the premise of Apple Intelligence, but I think they determined that this chip was fast enough. But yeah, so now you may well get $25 rebate.
So I'm not getting 250 million.
No, unfortunately not. No, unfortunately not. The lawyers are getting most of that probably, but you as a consumer,
I don't know how. Like in the notes, we have it that eligible devices will get $25 to $95.
Oh, I see.
We'll see.
95. That's quite good.
Yeah, I mean, if I get $100 because Apple lied to me, that'd be fine. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently, according to my notes here, can
you zoom in a bit, please?
Sure.
Yeah, we need
you to
zoom in quite a bit.
have how do you say, they have denied, they've not admitted, or they're not necessarily agreeing to it or something. I don't think they've been found guilty, but I'm not trusting my notes there.
That's quite ridiculous, because Apple Intelligence, for all like seriousness and for all purposes, it never happened. Like I can't summarize this thing with that thing with the emojis. What's it called? Like the emoji gen, whatever it was.
God, Genmoji, yeah.
Genmoji. I tried it like 20 times in the past 2 years. I have like 0 results. It just fails. It says it can't do it
now. Yeah.
But I never even made one because it just never worked. So I was sold a phone on the premise that it can do something. They shipped it. The UI exists, and I click it. It does the spinning whatever, but it never gives me a result. So I won my $100, Apple.
There you go. I had some results, but it never worked the way I intended to. I thought it was literally going to fuse 2 emojis together and this and that, but it never worked the way. Anyway, that being said, I did just notice iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. So my phone is covered, which is great.
So I had the 15 Pro Max and the 16 Pro Max. So
you should receive double. Hopefully you get $200. The settlement has received preliminary approval, and notices to those eligible to make a claim will start to receive email notices no more than 45 days from today, which this was announced probably last week now, isn't it? May 5th, so 10 days ago. So 35 days, you'll hopefully get an email.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Cool. I'll let you know.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
Because I've got a 15. I've got the 15.
Yeah.
So there we go. Move on.
Let's move on.
Oh God, it's another Anthropic one. So
with the Anthropic, we wanted to kind of like say them together, or like merge them, or we go.
I think we'll do an intro for each of them, but we'll bundle them all together. Go on.
Yeah. I want to say, like, you could also do an intro for all 3, and then do an intro per news, and then later on in post you can decide to merge them into one video or have separate videos.
Okay. To be fair, it's not crazy. I'm just moving things around so I can see them all together. Yeah, really, it's only 2.
Wait, there was the other one we didn't add, or like, so there is the deal sign, the agent view, but we also have the recent limitation.
Oh, the so
what's it called,
the
programmatic
use of Claude code. I don't have anything that was kind of like disguised as a treat, but actually it's it's a massive downgrade.
We'll just talk about the programmatic use with the deal with SpaceX. I think they are very relevant.
Yes, because we
compute.
got it's compute, and it's also this idea that we got given like increased usage, but then all of a sudden a week later it gets taken away. Which I was on Pro, and I felt like my usage got used up so much quicker whilst these reduced usages. I was like, surely, anyway, whatever. Anthropic have been busy boys this week, pissing off the community as well as delighting them in various different ways. It's been an absolute roller coaster, to be honest. So first of all, SpaceX /XAI signed a deal with Anthropic to use the entirety of their Colossus supercomputer. Anthropic also launched Claude Code Agent View, which is an amazing one. And they also delighted us with increased usage or stopping with the rate limiting thing, which I guess is a byproduct completely of all of this supercomputer nonsense and their deals that they've done with Amazon as well. But then just pissed everyone off by undermining it all by saying no more programmatic usage beyond anything outside of the ecosystem. So let's get into them all. My monitor is doing this thing where I need a new monitor and it's flashing, and do you know, I've got a really what's it called when you fear something for absolutely no reason? I always forget the term for it. I just think my computer is just going to explode and a bit of glass is going to go in my eye. What's it called?
Yeah, but like I don't know what it's called, but you have glasses, so you're safe.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
no big deal. What am I worried about? I've got glasses and a hat. God. Anyway,
that's my way of working when I work with a chainsaw. I have glasses. Sure. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Stops a chainsaw.
Yeah. So Anthropic gets in bed with SpaceX as AI race turns weird. And this is weird, actually, because Elon Musk has never been a massive fan of Anthropic. And I might actually share this first. Where am I?
Quite a lot of drama.
Frankly, I don't think there anything you can do to escape the inevitable irony of Anthropic ending up being misanthropic. Oh, good one there. You were doomed to this fate when you can't be bothered to read anymore. Anthropic is guilty of stealing training data at massive scale. Where do we go? Anthropic is misanthropic. God damn it.
So this is all Elon Musk making fun of Anthropic, and now they are buddies.
By way of background for those who care, I spend a lot of time this week with senior members of the Anthropic team to understand what they do and to ensure Claude is good for humanity, and was impressed. Everyone I met was highly competent and cared a great deal about doing the right thing. No one set off my evil detector. Elon Musk has an Elon detector all this time. He's been hiding it from us. Gosh. So as long as they engage in critical self-examination, examination, Claude will probably be good. Oh, what a new leaf you've turned over there. So
so basically, Elon Musk is now good with Anthropic because they are selling them their compute, and Anthropic is growing like crazy. They are like limiting the compute that we get and a lot of like programmatic users get in order to serve the enterprise more. And they are doing that partially with SpaceX.
Yeah. I don't think I don't quote me on this. I don't think it's fair to say that they're just going to give all of this to government and whatever. I haven't read anything that suggests that. However, I'm not going to deny it necessarily. Yeah. But since signing this deal with SpaceX /XAI, I don't know, they signed up to all of I think it's like 300 terawatts or 300 million or something. It's 300. Let me search. 300 megawatts of capacity, and they've got all of it. They've got all of it. I've forgotten where exactly it said it, but trust me, bro. And I think the reason why they've given them all of it is because their XAI, SpaceX, are working on superconductor or Colossus supercomputer 2. They're working on a second one, so they've just given them all of that. And we've known that Anthropic have been constrained with their compute for a long time. It was a bet that Dario made very early on that actually, long story short, the models will get a lot better. But actually, it's gone the reverse. As he needs more compute. So it was a bad business bet that he made very early on in Anthropic's career, life, whatever you want to call it. So now he's in a big bad bum rush to try and get as much compute as he can. This is not the only deal he struck up. I think he struck up deals with Google to get some TPUs, and he struck up some deals with AWS as well to get some of their compute. So I do think they're making up for it. However, just before this deal, go on.
Go on first.
Before this deal, we were actually constrained. They were putting usage limits on it. We reported on that, where there was a website telling you that you could use it with this site. Like, they were trying to encourage it during downtime and XYZ. Then they got this deal, and actually now or at least last week, we got basically increased usage from our Claude Max subscriptions and all the rest of it. So we're definitely immediately seeing the benefits of this deal that they've managed to secure. So that's why I said I don't know whether your government thing is totally true, because we just saw that our...
No, I don't mean like only. They are not giving it only to... I didn't mean government. I said like enterprise. That's where that's where they are making their money. But obviously we are going to get benefits of it as well. But that's not what's making them money. What's really funny to me is seeing the entire picture. Right now, Elon Musk, personally, himself, he's in court against Sam Altman, the issue they have with OpenAI. Now, historically, Elon Musk didn't like Sam Altman. Like, we know they are right now in court, but Elon Musk didn't also like Anthropic. As you showed, he used to make fun of them. But I guess Elon Musk hates Anthropic less than he hates OpenAI. So I would say partially it's good for him that Anthropic is taking business away from OpenAI, because it seems like, I think I read somewhere that Anthropic now makes more money. Their revenue, their business side revenue has increased more than OpenAI's.
I saw something.
So they are getting ahead, which is crazy, because OpenAI, just the word ChatGPT, it became a household thing. Even my parents have heard it, but now Anthropic has catched up, which is crazy. But the big picture, what's really funny is that all of these people, all of these companies, not just these three, but also Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they all have their own models that they are training, and they are all also have, or like most of them, they have their GPUs for the training and also the compute that you need. So what's really funny is that they are kind of like competing, but at the same time they are giving each other so much money, and they are investing in each other's infrastructure. They're literally paying each other. It's quite circular in a way. They are paying each other to just make sure whoever is going to win, that they will have a stake in it. That's kind of how it is. Like, if Anthropic is going to win, or like going to dominate the market, Elon Musk will benefit from it because it will be on their infrastructure. And if OpenAI is going to win, Microsoft is going to benefit from it. And, if Microsoft is going to win, it's all like in a circle, which is really funny. And not to mention NVIDIA being a big part of that. So speaking of a bubble, I'm not saying like it's a bubble and it's going to burst tomorrow. It might, but it's quite circular. circular, and it seems like most of these companies still don't know how to make money, but they are just investing. It's a circular investment going on.
Well, there's further irony in the fact that not only that Elon Musk was, shitting on Anthropic all this time, like they're literally renting GPUs from a company that has its own AI.
Yeah.
So it's quite, again, there must be this Colossus supercomputer too that I heard of as well that plays a part in all this. But where are they renting their compute from, or getting their compute? Is there have 220,000 GPUs they've got? Have they got 440,000 GPUs and only half of them were available to rent? Don't know. The other question here is around Cursor and that deal, and who how are they going to provide for Cursor? So it's sort of like there's a lot of passing around that's going on. It's hard to really keep track of everything and understand it, but the only people that really know are these Billy Big Boots.
One last thing on that topic. SpaceX /XAI /Twitter, it's all now SpaceX. They want to IPO, and I was watching Lemonade Stand, the podcast. So they want to IPO for $1.5 trillion. It's an insane number. Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, they are going for 1.5, and OpenAI and Anthropic, they are also going for about $1 trillion, just short of $1 trillion each, all within this year. Oof. And apparently there is just not enough liquidity, and there is not enough space for three big companies like this to IPO at the same time. So maybe this is all relevant. Elon Musk is also trying to sue OpenAI to slow them down. And
make
again,
like go down.
Yeah. So it's quite complex. These people, I don't know. I don't understand the finances here enough, but it seems like taking it from a pocket to putting it in another.
It sounds fishy, but also it's 4D chess, But to round this whole segment off is the programmatic usage. Is that whilst Anthropic gave us extra usage or increased usage since the deal with SpaceX, they've also taken a tremendous amount of usage away by basically paywalling any sort of programmatic usage of your Claude Max subscription.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to rip off Theo right now because he did a great explanation of this, just to give everyone an idea of what's going on. I'm going to try and position my microphone somewhere. I don't know. Let me do a little rundown. And we are here. So if we just draw a line here and we get some text, you've got, say, when you go to Claude.AI is the kind of ideal use case where you can use your Claude subscription. And then all the way over here, you've got API usage. Okay. These are the extreme ends of what Claude Anthropic offer, how you can pay them money. And seemingly across the x-axis here is also the less preferential way to use your subscription. So then further down the line, you've got Claude Code here, which is, slightly less preferential because it's so flexible, but it's still within the realm of feasibility. But then you've got something like Claude -P, which uses Claude Code, but allows you to wrap things around it. It's outside of the Claude Code UI, let's call it the UI, the TUI, the console where, that you probably all know and love. This enables things like T3 code, Conductor, your own tools, and all the rest of it. This is where it starts to sort of break down. And then you've got the Claude SDK, which is a similar sort of thing, allows you to build tools, but you write the code for it. So whilst this pipes, I hope this makes sense for maybe some of our less technical people, but Claude-B pipes into Claude code and uses everything around it. This almost uses the code that Claude Code uses. It's sort of like if you were to draw a tree, like you've got Claude Code here. You've got let's say Claude core, let's call it, rather than Claude Code, and then the SDK will also share that code as well, but it's separate from Claude Code. Hope that makes sense, but that's like a little rough diagram there. What do we got after this? And then you start to get, we have to move this along here. You start to get tools that are using Claude, the Claude P or the Claude SDK. These are things like OpenClaw. These are things like Open Code, right? And I think Open Code is probably a slightly more, because it's still in the wheelhouse of code, it becomes more favorable on the left side as it is the right side. So there's the scale of what we're talking about here. And again, this is totally stolen from Theo, so maybe go watch his video, is that they drew a line a few weeks ago right here where they were like, if you're using Open Code or using OpenClaw, then we're going to charge you API usage. It's going to, rightly or wrongly, steal from as soon as it detects the Open Code or you're using OpenClaw, it's going to take from like a bucket, like a purse of cash that you've set up. And sometimes it will warn you, sometimes it won't. And there was a report that I think they got refunded, but Hermes, as an example, which is an OpenClaw competitor, that there was a Hermes.md written in a Git comment in their code base, and Claude Code picked up on that and decided to charge them $200, and they didn't know anything about it. I think that got refunded, but you see, that was the kind of, I think, the point in this whole equation which triggered in Anthropic's mind that they can't accurately detect whether you're using OpenClaw or whatever. So a new line needed to be drawn, and they've now drawn that line over here. This is where they draw the line. Basically, anywhere outside of any sort of Claude UI is where you need to start paying for it. To sweeten the deal, they're going to be introducing, as of today, and you'll probably get an email or have already got an email today saying that you get the equivalent of your subscription in usage. Sorry.
In API, it's basically in API tokens, right?
Hang on. You get usage. You get a purse or a pocket of cash to use in these circumstances, right? And funny enough, I actually started to use P in a couple of cases because it's quite nice just to send it off, do something, and then not have to worry about it, because that's exactly what it does. It doesn't even enter Claude Code. It just does its thing, and it just exits straight away, sort of thing, right? So you get a bit of money to spend in these areas. The moment you use this, it takes out of this extra purse. As you just said, the problem is it charges you API usage. So if you've got a $200 a month plan, I've got the $100, or if you've got $20 a month, you know how expensive Claude is, right? That doesn't last very long under API usage. It's still nice, don't get me wrong. It's better than what we have, or it's more clear what we have, and we'll get into that, but it's not necessarily going to last you that long. I mean, this wouldn't be the end of the world if they hadn't already had this, had this line. That this was all. If this never existed, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But now they've had to draw a line. And I've forgotten his name, Matt Polkin, something like this. He said it really well, in that it's such a relief that we have this clarity now. And this, again, Theo explained this, and it was such a sigh of relief you can clearly see this transition now. I should probably remove this line.
Yeah.
It's nice to have this clarity, because it really, like, I bet when the Anthropic guys come up with it, it was like, yeah, this makes sense, and it does make sense. But it's still a kick in the nuts. It's still a kick in the nuts that it's almost anti. A lot of people are building their own harnesses around Claude Code and all the rest of it. And at the end of the day, you're paying Anthropic money every single month. You should be able to use your tokens however you want. However, they're so subsidized that they're probably, they're losing so many tokens. OpenAI taken the complete opposite stance. You get your OpenAI subscription, you can use whatever you want with it. You've bought those tokens and whatever. I don't know how long that's going to last, because we've reported in the past that OpenAI are taking the not the enshittification model, but the startup model of just giving you everything, just like Uber did, just like Netflix did, just like all of these other companies. They just give you everything for a short price until you're hooked, and then they take it away. So that's all Sam Altman knows. We've reported on this in the past. So that's long and short of what's going on. That's how it kind of, the landscape of things. Discuss.
Yeah, well, you explained everything perfectly, and it is, it's quite sad, because I was enjoying T3 code.
Yeah, so now T3 code's been updated to basically run Claude Code inside of its UI, which doesn't. It does. Why would you do that?
It defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah.
It looks like an iframe. It defeats the purpose. You can still use it, just for clarity, but it's like you hit the limit 40 times faster or something like that, and then so it's pretty much unusable. I think this speaks to the reality of how expensive these AI models are, how expensive they are to run, to train and to run. And we've been getting this subsidization from Claude, but they just can't do so much, because they cannot offer more compute for free, and they have to give it to their enterprise clients, and that's what they are doing. And it sucks. It sucks, but they've been giving away way too much, basically for free, right? Like you can draw like 3-5K worth of tokens within a month. So you pay $200
in one article, but it's everyone's different.
So you pay $200, but you use as much as 15,000, right? Not 1,500.
15,000,
yeah. That's crazy. So they subsidize that by, for example, me not buying the $200 plan, but not using it all that much, but you going nuts and using all of it. But they can't do this forever. And the point is, AI is more expensive than these companies wish it to be, and more than what we wish it to be. And we are facing this reality right now, and everybody is kind of waiting on maybe another model coming up, being much more token efficient. Maybe these companies are working on that. They know that they can get it much more efficient, because we likely need way more tokens, way more automations. Like OpenClaw was just the start of it. Like everything will become OpenClaw if we would have enough tokens. We just simply don't have nearly enough tokens, as much as like we would like to have. So that is going to happen, and this kind of like speaks nice to the next topic, like the next video, which we have about the 12 million context model.
But just to wrap up on this though, like the interesting thing is that the Claude, like you can do all of this with everything that Claude has offered you, Anthropic has offered you, right? You've got your routines, you've got Claude Code for writing code, you've got schedules, you've got loads of things, managed agents, right? Loads of things they offer you. I think the biggest, Theo was really angry, but unfortunately he's kind of biased, because the wind got taken away from his sale of his product that he was pumping a lot of time and energy into, right? Whether he's got this secret master plan of actually wanting to sell it in the end, even though it is open source, or whether he's got, whether there's something along those lines, or whether the fact that he literally has just pumped a load of time and money into building something that's now, again, shit. But there are better ways to do things. The Claude app, the desktop app, Claude Code, they are a little bit buggy. They aren't the best, and people were building clean alternatives, that people prefer to use, right? And they could do that with their Claude Max subscriptions, which was a win-win. It really fueled and inspired the developer community, right? And with these new changes, they've basically shunted the developer community. Even though they provide core code, the real power users were using Claude-P or the agent SDK. And those people are the ones most hurt by this. But it is what it is, and I do see why they've done it. They have every right to say why, we'll give you subsidization as long as you use our tools. There's probably an analogy out there in some way, shape, or form. It's like, okay, why would you go buy a car, but the moment you put in a different engine in it, why should that car company help you out if you break the car, or crash the car or something like that? It makes sense that they are taking control of the products that they offer. And if they'd never done it in the first place, if it was never there in the first place, I think this would be a much easier pill to swallow. But because it was given to us, then kind of taken away, and then given to us and then taken away again. But the clarity is there, which Matt Pocock said. He used a term called away from keyboard. Anytime you're away from the keyboard, is where they're going to punish, I shouldn't use that term, is where they're going to charge you. And that makes sense, because OpenClaw made it so you could have agents running pretty much 24/7, so anyway, that's the end of that one. In good news from Claude is the agent view, which is, it's kind of related to what we just spoke about, the whole subsidization thing, in that Claude Agents allow you to effectively monitor all the sub-agents, all the agents that are running on your machine. Doesn't matter what project. You can dip in. It will tell you whether something needs your attention or anything like that. It's great. But what better way than just to, I can't even say it, fucking hell. We should just show you, right? We should just show you what's been going on. So, oh shit, I've just removed it. Oh no, hang on. Here it is. Here it is. So it kind of looks like this.
Can you zoom in, please?
Let me see if we can. I don't want to. On audio.
The audio is on top.
So it looks like this. Oh, there you are. You can see it here. Bloody blacklisted, didn't we now? At the top here, you've got needs input. And you can dip in and just have a look what's going on, and dip out, and then go to your other agents, see what they're up to, and just go through them. Tells you what's completed. Really nice way of managing all your agents, especially if you've got different agents doing different things, running on different work trees, running on different projects. It's a welcome feature. But again, this removes developer tools like Tmux, So I think it's a byproduct of them locking down what you can and can't do with Claude, because Tmux will allow you to effectively have an agent view. I'm not sure how it technologically it does it, but it might be that they're trying to lock down any sort of outside interactions with Claude Code, but that whole thing that we spoke about. So it's pretty cool. Peek without replying, so you can just dip in and reply to them if they're asking you a question. What do you want to do next, and this and that and the other. If you're running a task or whatever, you can just send it to the agent view by typing /bg whilst it's doing a bunch of stuff. It's quite nice. I was having a play just before the show, and I was able to again spin up an agent doing some stuff in one project /bg, go to another project, /B, it's good that you can work across multiple projects. It's not bound to the specific folder that you're in. It's literally its own little interface. So it's pretty darn cool. So bit of good news from Anthropic there. You actually, what I always ask you this because you're jumping around. What are you still paying for Claude? Are you off Claude? Are you using GPT?
No, I'm using the $100 one now. So max $100, and I'm using Warp 95% of the time this week. And I'm using the vertical tab, and I have just multiple instances and each doing its own thing.
But you're on the free version of Warp, right?
No,
you're not.
The one that we got.
What are you doing with Warp and your AI?
I don't use the Warp AI.
Okay, yeah. So you're just splitting it.
But I like the UI. So
I'll show you on my video. That I'll be released.
Wait.
There you go.
It looks like this.
Yeah. So each of these, if you're running something, you can just do /BG, and then in another tab, another Warp tab, just type Claude Agents, and then you'll just be able to see all of the agents that are running. In fact, you might even be able to do it right now. Just type /BG in any of those. Preferably one.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
You haven't updated.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Type it. Just type it. I think you can just type it.
Where? Like, you mean not inside of Claude?
Inside of Claude, you can just type it.
But I'm typing.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then press enter.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. It does say that you just type it to enable it because it's a beta preview, but you still also might need to update. So don't really know the purpose.
But the point here is like
I'm sorry. Hang on. Whoa. Boys and girls, let's friggin' hold the phone. Did you just prompt your agent to cancel?
Yeah, because I was
the escape key.
Yeah, but I wanted to know that, have the context
of canceling.
I do use it. Yeah.
Mate, your brain is fried. Your brain is fried.
But oh man. But doesn't know if I cancel.
What do you mean? Does it know if you cancel?
Because it started to create an experiment, and create an experiment is a skill that I have made. It's semi-skill, so it starts something that I wanted to cancel. I didn't want that thread to go there.
I mean, realistically, mate,
to tell it.
It's not gonna. I don't think cancel. I know what you're saying. I don't think cancel is gonna do the thing that you think it's gonna do. I think it's gonna just work out. That whole workflow just got truncated. I think that's all that means.
Yeah. And if I press escape, I don't know what it happens. Maybe I should.
That just stops it. That just stops it, and it's recommended you do that.
Yeah, but when I send the next prompt, that's my worry. I don't want my context to be,
I think Claude will work out that's not. It's not gonna like that tiny little that's the thing that your experiment that was running for several seconds. I don't think it's gonna affect the context.
Okay.
It will be in there, but I don't think it's going to affect it. I don't think it's going to get.
So confused. Which one is worse? Saying like
run.
By the way, I don't do this anymore. I just do it myself.
I think cancel is worse because there could be many ways you run the server. It could be a Docker. It could be a start the front end. It could be start. I can understand why you might run the server, but arguably you should understand the project. Cancel is definitely the worst.
Okay, for now, until now, we will see. We will see like how fried my brain will get. I mean, for each window, I have like this many agents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I do clean up.
Yeah. And you might find yourself doing that, setting them all off and then just jumping into agents view. Do you know what I mean? And just managing them like that, because it's really quick to dart around into the agents. Let's move on, because I think we've spoken all we can about that. So this is a demo I want to do. We spoke about Perplexity. We spoke about Perplexity personal computer last week, and it was a beta. I was, and they didn't even bloody send me an email. Actually, god damn it! It's a tool that I think is the Mac Siri Apple Intelligence that we never got set off my bloody iPad again. So let me just show you, because I started this because I wanted to do a bit of research before the show, and then the intro looked really cool. So let's just. Did you hear that? That's my thing going off. So let's fire this bad boy up. Entire screen. This one, we're just going to do that. And go Perplexity. Hopefully you can hear it. I don't know whether you can. Let me use the mic. Can you see that?
I see it, but I'm not hearing.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, this is delightful music.
Okay, the design is really good. I mean, designers at Perplexity, they've been always good.
Right. Can you hear this?
No.
Can you hear that? No?
No.
Let me try one more thing.
I don't hear you. I can't hear you, and I don't hear the screen either. Now I can hear it. Yeah.
So here we go. Press both keys.
Yeah.
Ask anything. So here it looks like it's contextual. It's like linear, but like knows what you're doing. And we covered clicky last week as well, right? Whole function keyed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me sign in off screen here. That was nice, though. These intros are getting very like elaborate now, and they kind of taking over your whole screen. Sorry, I should be.
I like them. Yeah, the first one that I saw that was really good was from Arc.
That's right. That's right. And this whole dragging thing as well.
That's really cute. Yeah.
All it's really doing is just switching it on there, but if we do that, granted, enable screen recording. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. Quit and reopen.
So it should be able to. Can it control your Mac? I mean,
well, this is what we'll try. What should we do? Should I say? Don't know. What should we do? Okay. Oh, that's really satisfying, by the way.
Yeah. But I don't know if I like the command thing, because it's kind of like two keys that are far. So for myself, I like the Fn key pressed twice. I have the control plus spacebar. I have option plus spacebar. I have command spacebar, and I use these daily.
Mount refill. I'll just do
But
one
command. Yeah.
What's 100 credits? What's $10? No, 1,000 credits. $10, 1,000 credits. Well, you can probably change your. Change this now. Actually,
Yeah.
you can probably change the format, the shortcut. You know.
Yeah.
If let's go to this. Okay. So it's like so I would probably that's my double command there. So
okay.
So I'm holding and speaking. You can see this thing at the bottom here, so that's cool. Stop that.
Holding what?
Function.
Okay.
So I can speak to it. Because here's the thing as well, because we spoke about clicky, and I have not got this to work. Like, you're supposed to be able to say, "Hey, clicky agent," and it will just do something for you. But it's not worked at all. And I'm paying for this as well. But they've moved it up to the top here. You see that? That's quite nice.
Yeah.
And like, it feels like my trackpad clicks when you do that. It's really satisfying. But I've never got Clicky Agent to work. I really disappointed in that, actually. And I know it's a new product, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, I don't know where it is now.
Yeah.
I want to quit it. But it's the same sort of thing. I think I should be able to, maybe I can go find the pricing of Claude. I don't know whether I should. Maybe it's not picking up my microphone or something.
They should show that. I like how with Whisper Flow you see that. If it's not working, you see it.
So you saw there that I had to top up my credits. So this is using a separate crediting system that's outside of my Perplexity subscription.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have a bone to pick with Perplexity. I've given them this feedback, and they I use Comet Browser here, and I'd often go into Assistant and get it to do things on the website that it's on, but then it just stopped working. And basically, it's that same thing. They wanted to hide any sort of use of your computer or your browser behind the paywall. So they started paywalling everything. This is supposed to be. Hang on. There we go. This over here is supposed to be just for you to chat with the website you're currently on, not actually not get it to actually interact with the website that you're on, which is a real. And I shared this with them. I said, this is a real downgrade, because you'd be chatting away and you'd be like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, well, Claude does this. It says, do you want me to do that for you? You say yes, it takes over your browser and starts to do things. But now you've got to open up a new tab. You've got to go into computer mode and then kind of start everything again. You know, it takes you out of that flow, or it takes me out. That's the way I like to work. It takes me out of that flow. I've also just noticed that computer use isn't really working. I mean, I'm under a bit of pressure here to try and get it to do something, but what's that? That's your credit system. So I'm not really digging deep into it. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I do think this is quite nice. And they did have a. Let's see, I can't go to settings. They did have a floating bar, which they spoke about that was the thing that I thought was really nice. It was always this floating bar, and you could always like interact with it. I suppose that's quite nice, the double command thing, and that's even listening as well. So I guess you could say, could we try the whole clicky experiment? Create a HTML presentation on this Claude article. Yeah, I reckon it's got something.
Yeah,
I reckon it's one of the reasons why clicky isn't working too. I reckon it's some sort of external. It might be my system that I've personally got set up, but we'll leave it there. But still a nice tool. I do still want to dig into it, but I do have a bone to pick with Perplexity, and I also have cancelled my subscription to Perplexity because they completely nerfed my favorite browser and all of its AI goodness. So yeah, don't know what to make of it, but I can do everything I need to inside of Claude. And going back to what we were saying earlier about Claude actually having a lot of features involved, it just might not be the best implementation of it all. I can do a lot with Claude. I can get it to control my browser and everything under my subscription. So yeah, Perplexity supercomputer, pretty cool. Take a look into it. I will be doing so, but sorry, I couldn't get anything to work. Finally, I can stop talking. Subquadratic, Sub-Q. Do you want to give this a whirl? By the way,
well, I can try.
As you've already said, none of us are qualified for this, but we'll just read the article and we'll just respond to it, and we'll just go.
So this is way above my pay grade. Subquadratic agent, not agent AI. Wait, actually, let me
Subq.AI.
Yeah,
it is Subquadratic. I think that's right.
Yeah, so I'll start from scratch. All right, so this is way above my pay grade. Subq.AI, a new startup, a new model is out, and they are claiming they have 12 million token and like context window basically that they can have, and they are better than pretty much any other model out there. So they have a really good video. I don't know if we can play the video, or do you want to play the video?
Play the video. It's just the audio, but you've never got audio to work on your machine anyway, so just play it.
So the video is really good. Yeah,
12 million tokens.
And this is like when the context window is at 1 million tokens, they are better than others. And it can process the tokens faster. So it's faster, smarter, and has a bigger token window, which is crazy.
Do you smell that?
No.
It smells a little bit like bullshit.
You do it? Yeah. So
have you registered for early access?
Yes, I haven't gotten it. And I did this like over a week ago. So here's something that I barely understand. So apparently with the standard we have, the GPT models that we have, each word is like calculating its distance, like in the vector space, with every other word in the, so like every word is connected to the next one, like, and all of them are connected to one another. So when there is a word, the next word is predicted based on the previous word. So that makes it like really difficult to scale the context window, because you can imagine the last word in a 1 million context window is related to the first one. So it's a really huge calculation to be made. But in this way, they are only doing the calculations between the words that matter. This is kind of like also how we humans do it, by the way. Like when you read, there are like methods to speed reading. You can read a page on a book and retain a good, like understand a good chunk of it without reading the whole thing. There are methods to it. So you just read the important words and you kind of like read what's making up the context. And it seems like that's what this AI is doing, where only some of the words are connected. So anyway, so it seems like they can scale. Now, I saw some tweets, people saying this is a bullshit. Why? They were saying if what this guy is claiming here, if it's true, the 12 million token context window is too small. They were saying if it's like truly what it is, what this guy is claiming it to be, it should basically scale infinitely. And why stop at 12 million? Why not go for 100 million? Why not go for 1 billion? So that's the type of tweets I was seeing. But like in fairness,
scroll down a little bit.
Yes.
In all fairness, keep going.
Yes. And in all fairness, this guy, I believe, the CEO or co-founder, he replied and said, like, it's not just the architecture, that the new architecture that we have like other limitations. So we can't literally just take whatever model is out there and change the architecture and scale to unlimited. There are like other problems that need to be solved as well. Anyway, theoretically, if it's true, they should be able to achieve much bigger scales than 12 million and much faster speeds. And here we see some interesting tests. Obviously, these are handpicks, and from what I understand, it's just done by the company. So we will take it with a huge grain of salt. But Sweetbench verified, like, Opus is at 80% and they are at 81, but Opus 4.7 is at 87%. These are at 81. I don't know why this is shown as green.
I think it's just yeah, exactly. It should be more, right?
Yeah. So 94% at this one, 95. So it's better than the other models at some of these tests and tasks. And I have asked for early access, but I have not gotten access yet. So
remember, it might be less, but less than Opus 5.7 or whatever it is, but it's 1/5 the cost. You know, the cost is something to take note of. I've signed up as well. There'll be two ways you can interact with it. There's the code by the looks of things as well, so you can it will be like a Claude code plugin sort of thing, or directly through the API, which would be for building tools and things like that. So yeah,
small company, by the way. It's a small company with not a lot of funding, and from it's not from Silicon Valley, so a lot of people are like, is this real? Big claim.
And I can't work out whether it leverages existing models or whether it's their own model, because a small, like, if they trained their own model.
Not completely. From what I understand, they are changing the architecture, or they are distilling.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So they've Well, I mean, you can't. Yeah, obviously, because they're comparing against closed source models, they're obviously, you can't distill those because they don't have access to the weights, right? However, like they mentioned a Claude Code plugin. It could be that they're wrapping. It is something they can achieve like that. It's yet to be seen, I guess, but it's cool though.
Here they say internally evaluated. So for what's that worth? And by the way, technical report coming soon. This is from a week ago. still coming soon. So I would like to see that there are like some third-party results. But it seems like where this can shine is like at higher context windows, and this can be potentially very interesting to do some like heavy working with.
We didn't report on it so much, but it's something I've been exploring on my channel, which is TurboQuant, which is a way of quantizing the cache, right? And
the one by Google, right?
The one by Google. Yeah, we did cover it, didn't we? We didn't. Yeah. I don't think I understood it as well. I actually played around with it. There's some videos on my own channel if anyone wanted to go watch those. But yeah, that was an interesting way because obviously it doesn't. It works with any model, right? You just quantize and you store the cache and quantize the cache in a certain way based on your parameters you've set. So and I think that's the only real like step we've had in terms of trying to make the existing models more efficient. Like I say, I don't know whether this is their own model or whether they are just wrapping, Claude code and working with Opus, and storing the cache more effectively or doing something with the model on its way out. Don't know, but it's cool. Cool. Webflow.
Yeah, let's go to Webflow. I'm preparing. I have like my comparison set up.
We still like to cover Webflow on this channel. It still holds a place in both our hearts, I think.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
I still use Webflow.
You still use it?
Yeah. Mostly, well, I use Claude, and Claude uses Webflow. The MCP.
Claude uses it. Yeah. Your agents use Webflow.
Yeah. Let me zoom in a bit. So, yeah, that's getting the ads out there. All right. So Webflow has a new pricing plan, and wait, did it before? Actually, I want to restart. Did it happen like less than a year ago?
What happened less than a year ago?
Like pricing change.
I don't know. I don't know when the last pricing change was.
Anyway.
Don't even know. Anyway.
All right. So Webflow has changed their pricing again, and here's everything you need to know about it. In very short, you don't really need to be worried about it too much. So I have a full comparison for you. This is the old one. I took it from Web Archive, and then this is the new one.
Okay.
Let's zoom out so you see it better. Okay. So this is the new one. You have Starter, Basic, Premium, and in the old one, there was CMS and Business. In the new one, you see this platform plans with team $2,500 a month. Let's just put that on the side. That's something else. It's really stupid that this is next to plans. It doesn't make sense. So let's ignore this. They are calling these platform plans.
Yeah.
Webflow, I know you're watching. I'm really sorry, but like you're really bad at simplifying your pricing. Your pricing page needs a course. That's how bad it is. Anyway, I've been doing this for years, so I can explain it. Anyway, so let's just forget about this. We have the premium now. Previously, you had CMS and Business. 90+% of my clients are on the CMS plan. My website is on the CMS plan.
And just to be clear, Webflow have two separate plans. You have a probably what they call a platform fee, right? You have
you have for the site plans and then workspace.
You pay these. Yes, that's the one, workspace. So these are site plans. These are for each individual site that you might have on a plan.
Exactly. Thank you. So you have a website, you connect it to a domain that's going to require one plan, and you have another domain with another website that requires an additional plan. So previously they had CMS, 90 maybe even 95% of my clients are on this, a few on this, and a few on the business one. Why would you go from CMS $23 a month to $39 for business? What is the difference? The main difference, for at least for in my case, it has been form file upload. Funnily enough,
Wow.
in these, you cannot upload a file. Like, let's say you have a form, the end user needs to upload a PDF, upload an image to a form, can't do it with these plans. That's why you had to previously go to the business plan. And that's kind of like a good jump. It's a big jump to go from this to this, from 23 to 39, just for form file upload. But yeah, you would get also 40 CMS collections instead of 20. Now, that has been simplified, and I like that actually. Now, both of these two are just called premium. And Webflow, in their blog post, they show it pretty well. So the starter is the same. The basic has a price increase from $14 to 15. The CMS and business are combined 23 and 39. Both of them are going to cost 25. So it's an increase if you are coming from the CMS. 95% of my clients are going to pay $2 a month more compared to what they were paying, for basically no benefits. They don't need it. But it sucks, but it's not a huge increase.
You're probably going to go into this, but what do you get for 25?
Yes, I will get into it. So for $25, you get pretty much everything that you were getting from business before. That's the good news. But you don't need it. Maybe you might not need it. But I would argue that it's nice. What's a downgrade from business is the bandwidth. So at $39, you would get 100 gigabytes bandwidth. At 23, you were at 50. Now with the 25 from premium, you just get 50. But yeah, if you are at 100, that's
so what's what on the old plan? What was the bandwidth of business?
100.
100. And what's the price of 100 bandwidth in the new plan? Did I see 45?
That's exactly. So that is a jump. So if you were on the business plan because of bandwidth, because in my case it's form upload, but in your case it might be because of bandwidth or CMS items or whatever, now the bandwidth is going to cost more. What's really good is with the CMS, you get now 40 collections and 20,000 CMS items.
Yeah,
I know I've said, like, I talked about Framer pricing enough, but I have that just in case you haven't seen. Framer at $100 a month gives you 20 collections. Webflow now at $25, like 1/4 of that price, gives you double. So like Framer is 8 times more expensive when it comes to the number of CMS collections. And not to mention others. Like at $30, which is still more than 25, you get 10 collections, where with Webflow you get 40. Anyway, we're not talking about Framer, but I thought it's kind of like relevant. If you are looking into Webflow pricing, you might be also looking at Framer. Framer is not cheaper. So that's it. That's pretty much it. I saw people being angry on Twitter. I don't get it. Yes, it is more expensive, and I don't welcome it. But in my case, because I had to go to the more expensive plan, the previous business plan, just because of form file upload multiple times, I'm kind of happy. And I don't think the $2 a month is, a huge jump.
So hang on, right? You're telling me you spent an extra, what is that? $16 a month for form upload.
Yeah.
And you couldn't build something that uploaded it and then posted it in and just stored it in that link in a database entry.
Because it's Webflow, like all Webflow integrated, like that. That's why we were like just using Webflow form to streamline stuff.
Just
like you're basically saying like integrate like something inside of the Webflow form, right?
No, just have
or
well,
use
no,
don't use Webflow form at all.
Use a separate service. So your whole entire form submits via JavaScript. You send the the file upload whatever to a separate service. You send the rest to Webflow. That separate service then plugs into Webflow CMS and says, here's the URL of the file that I uploaded.
Yeah, you definitely
totally
could. But we're if you see the sites that we've made, no, I wouldn't. I would still pay this. And not, well, maybe today with Claude it would be easy, but we've done this in the past, and you want to keep the consistency and the rest of the UI of the complex forums that you're building, because the ones that we did were not simple forums. They were quite complex ones.
Yeah. We're off topic.
But,
however, what I will say, my perception here is that, and I'm surprised they've gone up for the basic plan for this reason. I think they've brought down the price of everything that they can control. The known knowns. They've said, right, we can control this, so we can set a price on it. That is number of CMS items, that's using the platform, that's this and that's that. The unknowns is where they've increased the price, which is bandwidth. There was a whole thing about 2-3 years ago around the bandwidth being slashed, basically, and that was obviously killing them as a business, right? And it makes sense because they don't know whether you're going to build the next Facebook on Webflow, or you're going to build your auntie's trip planning website, and it's going to get no viewers. It's going to get barely any views. They just don't know. So that's why, and they're really competing with Claude Code right now, and any other AI tool that a lot of people are jumping to. So they need to bring down their prices of their tool, because otherwise people will just turn to Claude. So that's my observation.
Yes. There are a few more things that I want to mention. 100 gigabyte bandwidth, what the previous one had, and 20,000 CMS items and 40 CMS collections is still going to cost $45 a month. But on the previous one, if you wanted 40 collections and 20,000 CMS items and 100 gigabytes, that would cost $89. So it really depends on your use case to know if this one is going to be more or less expensive for you with the new pricing. But if you were on the CMS plan, you just know it's $2 a month more expensive. And if you have multiple sites, that adds up. So that sucks. Now, another thing that kind of sucks about the pricing even more, especially for agencies, sometimes, well, nowadays maybe less, I would argue, I can understand this, but in the past we would set up the site for the client and we would add hosting for 1 month for the last few weeks of testing and putting the content there. But before sending it to their workspace, we would add 1 month of hosting and on our workspace, which we would typically pay, and just we would eat up the cost. Now that's going to be a lot more, because you see, save up to 40%. Previously it was up to 33%. So previously the basic would cost $18 a month if you would pay monthly. Now it's 25. So ouch, that's a big jump. The premium is 39, while the CMS it was 29. So it's a good jump for the monthly. But honestly, yeah, if you have a website, at most all my clients are paying yearly. Nobody is paying monthly, so it doesn't matter. And there are some cases that you would pay monthly. Just to mention that the e-commerce plans still exist, the workspace plans still exist. The differentiation between teams and freelancers still exists, and this sucks. Like, I understand it, but I see so many people just don't get this. We understand in the community because we have grown our businesses with Webflow for so long, but yeah, the pricing is pretty complex. Here in the blog, they also compare all of them. So there are also a few more things that have been increased. And this is kind of like the backlash I've been seeing from the community on Twitter, and I understand it. It's that these are things that nobody cares about, and now you have to pay it anyway. So, for example, a starter now costs more, but it has double the amount of static pages, from 150 to 300. The argument is nobody needs this many, and yeah, I don't know any website that like what are you do? Why would you need 300 static pages? Like, I understand CMS. Like, the moment you need more than 20, the moment you need more than 20, maybe 30 pages static, you have to go CMS. Like, you're going to build these pages systematically. So anyway, this is something that you don't need, but now you're paying for it. Same here. The 20K item limit from 10K, now it's 20. Yeah, you probably don't need this. The 40 CMS collections, I really like this. We use a lot of CMS collections, and yeah, there are like Webflow Cloud. I don't think that matters that much. And now about this $2,500 a month plan. What is this? For who is this? From what I understand, this is kind of like between the what now it's called premium and enterprise. So with enterprise, you get a huge bill. Now, if you are a team and you're not ready for enterprise, but you still want to have like hosting and workspace and some advanced publishing and yeah, a bunch of things like this, you're going to pay this. But why is this next to site plans? This is what I said, like Webflow is just so bad at pricing. Like, look, Framer, it's just so much simpler. Just so much simpler. And I do think people get confused and they might not sign up because of that. But yeah, that's been it. That's the Webflow pricing. Not a big change. Honestly, I'm not too pissed about it.
Well, it's good to have that clarity. No changes to the workspace plans, right?
Not that I know of. No.
Cool. Right. Well, I've got to shoot really soon. I've just been looking at the time. So let's go to unreasonable effectiveness of HTML. And then if you want to, well, yeah, I'll have to shoot probably midway through it.
Yeah. Okay. So, how should we do it?
Just do it.
I should do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do an intro real quick if you want to sort some stuff out.
Yeah, let's do the intro. Yeah.
Shall I do the intro or?
Yeah, do the intro.
Okay, let me share my screen then real quick. Okay. Why can't I share my screen?
Because my screen is on the
No, as in like I want to change the because I'm scared. I'm sharing my screen, not my tab. So Tharic from Anthropic has raised a very, very crucial, and that's a bit shit in it. No, I haven't got it. I haven't got an intro.
Okay.
I haven't got an intro in my head.
It's okay. It's okay. I can go about it.
Okay, cool. Hang on. Go for it.
All right. So Tarek from Anthropic, he shared a very interesting article. Use HTML instead of MD files. And we'll go into it and I will show you comparisons between what's an MD file, what's an, I mean, you presumably know these, but I will show you next to one another. The idea is that with MD files, agents can read it easily and it's quite efficient in usage of tokens. But with HTML, it's nicer for us humans, potentially even for agents. It's not as efficient, but it has like more context, better context. And for us, it's much easier to read. So why HTML? There is an argument to make informational density. You can do just so many types of like show informations in so many ways. So HTML can convey much richer information compared to Markdown. It can, of course, do simple document structure like headers and formatting, but it can also represent all sorts of other information, such as basically like tables and design data, CSS, SVGs, and code, and just so much more. Actually, I'll just show you an example that I prepared. So here we have three basically views. On the very left, we have a markdown file not rendered. So this is basically the raw information, and you see this hashtag, and then that's basically your H1. One hashtag means H1 essentially. Then that's how the rendered one for humans. So there are tools that do this for you. For example, on my Mac, if I show you the same file, I have an app that renders the preview for me quite nicely. If you don't have that, you will see it just like that. When you open it on your Mac or on your computer, you see the file just like that. Now, you see, this is quite simple, but it's nice, right? Especially this one. This one is not very readable. Like, good luck reading this.
I think there's you've got a missing bracket or something like that, but that should render like the table above it.
Yeah. It's because of the spacing. Like, it's smaller. Like, yeah, but it's still not really easy to read. Like, I would argue, like this table here, again, this table, you see, because of the information density, the length of the information, it's just not easy to read. But this one is easier to read. So why does this matter? This matters because you want, when you are talking to your agent, you want to have like a format to communicate with which you both can read it effectively and communicate it effectively. And when I say effectively, like no information lost, but also in tokens, you don't want to use too many tokens. Now the idea from Tarek is, which, by the way, I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm really happy to share. Like, I've been asking my agents to just output HTML to me instead of MD files quite often. Now, this is the same file on the left, but rendered as HTML. Not exactly. So I told the agent to take this MD file and create a rich HTML based on this MD file and present it to me. You see, it's just much nicer to look at. For example, look at this export UI panel. This is the plan for a panel. It's just a very rough diagram, or like UI here. Here you have a proper UI. You can, it doesn't like click, but you could tell your agent to make it interactive, right? It would work. So that's really nice about it. Then when it comes to like rich information or like coding, it's just much nicer to have it. You can have like diagrams and so much more. And actually, Tarek has made a really good example that you can give to your agent to basically, instead of using MD files or creating MD files, create HTML with kind of like this as an example. And this is really nice, the types of things that you can do. For example, here, this is a really good example of something that you can do with HTML that you can't do with MD files, or not as nicely. Or which one was it? Like a clickable flow. This is, this works. I mean, there is a JavaScript here involved as well, but you get the idea. Or like with SVGs. I do this by the way all the time. I ask my agent to explain something in diagrams or in SVG, and they're really good at it. Like this, you can imagine being just much easier to understand as a human, but also the agent will understand it just fine. Now, what is the issue with that? Tokens. And people were making jokes about Anthropic having the deal with SpaceX first and then publish this, because this is going to consume more tokens. How much more? There has to an argument to be made, and I don't know the exact answer, and there is a test to be made. If I'm chatting with my agent, the likelihood is that there is a lot of tokens that are going to be used just for the reasoning. I don't know the proportions. That's my point. Like, I don't know if it's, even if an HTML doc is, what's happening? Even if an HTML doc is 10 times more token thirsty than an MD file, even if it's 10 times more token thirsty, it might not matter if you look at the entire interaction that you have with a Claude Code instance, because of the reasoning and whatnot. I don't know. I would actually like to maybe test that. But yeah, going back to the article, which we will share, there are like other arguments to be made, like visual clarity and ease of reading. As I mentioned, it's just much nicer with hierarchy of information. Ease of sharing.
Go to the use cases, I think, is quite an interesting, because you've kind of already discussed those ones.
Okay, well, ease of sharing, by the way, like we can also, like ease of sharing, like with you could share an MD file, but with an HTML, you could just quickly put it on Vercel and share it with anyone on a group chat. That's like a big deal, I would say. So here, when you say use cases, you mean here or like in the article?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't clock on. This is the article done as a HTML file.
Oh, I didn't see it that way. It makes sense.
Yeah. So the use cases are in the exploration and planning is a use case, or code review and whatever. They're all the use cases. So if you scroll onto use cases,
no, it's not.
If you scroll into use cases,
but it's like, where's use cases?
Well, these are the use cases. So if you go back to the article, scroll down to use cases. Here, specs, planning, and exploration. You go back to the HTML.
Yeah, but like this is a different file.
The exploration, planning, code review, design, and prototypes, they're all in the website that you're sharing.
Okay, so it's not. I see. No, I haven't been that. Okay. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. No, I was like at the start of the article, kind of like introing, like making the argument, and then yes, you're right. Then we get into the use cases, and the exact use cases are these. These are these are how you could use it, or like the benefits basically. Is there one that you particularly
I think they're all pretty good. No, I think they're all. The one I find hardest to get around my head around is the Git review stuff, but they're all pretty good. So I think they're all good, worthwhile going through.
Yeah, and I think the one with custom editing interfaces, like these are like such a difficult thing to convey through text, and an MD file is just one level above like a normal prompt, like one level higher in fidelity above normal prompts, and it's better than prompting, but an HTML can be much easier to read for both and to share. I think that's what people mostly forget about. Like you go to skills, right? Like skills are MD files, right? It's really difficult to read a skill. I mean, difficult. It's not difficult, but it's a long text that you.
But I would argue you don't necessarily need to interact with a skill. But your point being that because it's purely for computer, right?
Yes. Yeah. But my point being is like if you want to share something and make it also human readable, an HTML is just superior. And I don't know for sure, but I don't think the tokens are going to take such a big hit as people are.
Well, Tharic argues, Tharic argues that, well, yes, more tokens, but like you're making up for what it produces being so much more clear that you're not having to go back and do anything with, edit a markdown file even more or this or that because it's not laid out in a way that a human wants to read it. So, it's arguable, but probably negligible, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
But yeah. Anyway, give it a try. Next time you're planning something with your agent, like let's say you're doing a marketing. This is what literally I did for a client of mine. We started doing marketing research because he wants to write blog posts and create SEO pages made for SEO. He did it on his end on ChatGPT. I did it at the same time on my end with Claude Code. The difference at the end, I said, present to me everything in an HTML, and it did. And then I'm logged in Versal in the CLI. I just said like deploy to Versal, just did and shared it with him. Well, if he wants to share it with me, he needs to share like his chat history or whatever, like a text. Well, I shared an HTML doc with him with steps, with references and links and like checkboxes. It's just, it's just much nicer to work with, and it can be something you do with clients.
Yeah,
back and forth.
So I'm writing a book at the moment, and I actually really want that to be in Markdown while I'm editing because I want to read the words and edit the words and this and that and the other. Right, the end goal is it will be HTML for sure, but like there are some cases like Obsidian is a Markdown network of files basically, and people are using that to journal and create their second brain and things like that. I think that probably also belongs in Markdown. Maybe even a HTML. Maybe it creates both. Maybe there is a HTML file created at the same time as a Markdown. But again, when I need to go in and hand edit stuff, that's when Markdown will reign supreme. However, if I don't, and I don't want to,
I don't know about
get
that,
my agent to do everything.
But why not? Why would you use Markdown even for that case and not just use like a simple, like very simple HTML doc? Like this you could do with HTML as well, and much nicer, I would argue. This you could do with HTML table, and it's nicer. No?
Because the book won't have things like that in it. as an example, there is a element of simplicity. Like if the document is very simple, like it doesn't need tables and this and that, then it makes sense to have, for me, it makes sense to have it in Markdown, because I want to be able to write it. I'm not asking my agent to write things for me. I want to be able to go in there and whatever. Whereas if I'm navigating through, spans and all the rest of it and whatever, then it just becomes whatever. But it's,
I see. Yeah.
But we are talking about many more use cases. HTML was more appropriate, but it's cool. It's I think we're all kind of doing it, but it just needed someone to really sit down and demonstrate and articulate it, which Starek did. So
yeah. By the way, to make this, I referenced that project. I was like, use that project as a reference, but make an HTML for this MD file. But yeah, cool. That's it. With this, you're going to probably use more tokens, but have an easier time reading your documents.
Yeah, exactly. Or communicating your ideas more effectively to your team, to your clients, to your grandparents.
Yeah, you can create a presentation with it. Yeah.
Cool. Lovable. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
Okay, Lovable. I need 1 second.
All good.
Wait, where is the Lovable? I think.
By the way, while you're doing that, for anyone that's listening or watching or whatever, we are wanting to do something with some sort of community. We'd want to be a bit more interactive and a bit more, let's say, intimate with you guys, and discussing AI and sort of bringing you up to speed, and whatever it is that you tune into these shows for. We want to know what that is, because we are just throwing things into the ether right now and talking about it. Whereas if we could be a bit more tailored to what you want, we'd build a better show, and also, again, provide a community where we can all openly discuss things. So if you go to insiders.cmd+AI.com, you will be presented with a form. We're not collecting any usage data or anything like that. We literally just ask you what it is that you would want to talk about, or what it is you want to know about when it comes to these shows, and or what you want to know in this make-believe community that may or may not happen. So insiders.cmd+AI.show.com. You've been warned.
Okay, I'm almost ready. Give me 1 more second to get my notes. Okay.
Yeah, your cable is having a bad time today.
Yeah. Okay. Introducing Lovable aesthetic update. So this is an update on Lovable. Amazing video, by the way. This video is so good. The video is amazing. It's about how Lovable can now create like really good design, like award-winning. They are not calling it award-winning, but when you see these, you think of award-winning websites, right? And it seems really cool. And my social media has been full of it. So here, Henrik saying, made in one prompt. This looks absolutely amazing, right? At least in the first glance. And then here we have another one, also one prompt, made with one prompt. Here, another one. Let me go back. Is this one prompt? Yes, this one is also with
it's almost like they've been paid to mention one prompt.
One prompt, yeah. And I have something to say about it. These are not amazing, not as amazing as it might seem like. And I don't want to be too negative about this. By the way, the video again is really nice, but these designs are, I want to say, templated. They do look all the same to me. I'm not crazy about it. Am I the only one who thinks this? You have really nice images, by the way. Yeah, you have really nice images. You have these serif fonts that are kind of like paired. And I'm I see myself explaining good design. What I'm saying is basically good design. And yes, this is better than, 95% of designers out there. My issue with it, my only issue with it, it feels a bit repetitive in a way. But yeah, again, I don't want to be too negative about it. It's just that it looks a bit templated to me. So here's the thing. All of them have this font pairing that I mentioned, this like aesthetic looking, that a bit editorial looking, all of them.
Very editorial, yeah.
Yeah, and they all have this minimal look. The images, by the way, are very nice. I don't know how they are getting that done. There is a warm feeling, at least the ones that I saw. They all had some sort of very warm feeling. And there is some good sort of motion happening. So the motion is also pretty much the same in a way, the same. It's a mix of scaling and basically like, as you see, let me check, like show you this one. You see how like elements are moving as you scroll. So this is happening to all of them. So there is just like a tiny bit of motion with this good font and image pairing and a stagger. Like you see the stagger, especially in this one, where the right elements, I'm gonna give that to them, the right elements are staggered. So these are shown with stagger. So yeah, at first I saw it and I was like, wow, that's great. But the more you look into it, the more similar they look like. The more they are just like the same. And by the way, I don't know why Henrik is sharing this one, but this one like has an issue with the images. It could be fixed, but yeah, small one. And maybe this one is the least impressive among the other ones. So yeah, there was a bunch of buzz around it. I wanted to just share my 2 cents on it. That it's quite nice. It's the new baseline. That kind of unfortunate, by the way, in a way. Well, depending on how you look at it, maybe for bad and medium designers, this is unfortunate, but for businesses, this is the new base, which is great, actually.
Well, I think you need to like temper your expectations, and I say you, I don't mean you. One needs to temper our expectations. Like this is without a doubt amazing that someone can just do this in one prompt, right? This is going to serve so many businesses just to be able to get something up and running. You aren't as a designer, you're not the target market. Like, why would you want to produce something in one prompt that you would design, or that you want to craft? Why would I, if I want to paint something, why would I just want it to be painted instantaneously? Like you're taking away my love, my enjoyment of painting.
Yeah.
If I could just do it in one prompt. And it's the same with anything really. It doesn't, whether it's Lovable, whether it's Figma, whatever. So clearly designers are not the target market for this. This is not this is never gonna wow designers. This is just going to be good for people who don't care about design. This is great for me. Like if I want something done in a certain way or whatever, and let the AI figure out. It's basically trying to use best practices as much as possible. Although I watched Rand's video and he demonstrated that it wasn't using best practices, particularly in contrast. It was failing miserably on the contrast. But good is good enough. Do you know what I mean? For many people. And unfortunately, the thing about the internet is you broadcast, and it's seemingly supposed to be, given specifically to you, because it's relevant to you, but realistically, it's not. This is meant to land in the eyes and ears of company owners and basic people who just want a website up and running. Do you know what I mean? So
this is for people who previously would buy a template. Now you don't buy a template. Like these new baselines, these new standards within these AI native or AI first platforms, these are the new the new templates. So instead of finding a template, now you're prompting something, and you might get lucky to get really good stuff, but you might need to, have more prompts to dial it to your liking. Working with so many businesses in the past 6 years, and you've been doing it for much longer, that there are just so many details that they need, and a prompt cannot do it. It's an amazing starting point, but a website is a living being, actually, that is going to grow with you and change with you and your business. So good starting point, not going to put designers out of job.
Yeah, for sure. And, again, the way in from the dev perspective, we're just seeing a screen recording of them scrolling. There's no link. Well, maybe there's a link. I don't know. But there's no link here. The website might not even be working. Maybe they want some live data fed into some of those stuff. Maybe they want that CMSable. Maybe they want they want a menu that opens and closes. We don't know if it actually works. So, again, there's many more steps away from this, but this is great for you guys wanting to just
I see people selling prompts, which is
I know
that's the funniest shit.
I said on Twitter recently, I said, if you're looking for prompts and skills and you're buying skills and using libraries and things like that, you fundamentally do not understand what AI is giving to us. Like,
that's most
build
people.
your prompt by asking for the prompt. Do you know what I mean? Prompt your way to the prompt. Like, crazy.
Absolutely. It's like, welcome to the shortest AI course ever. Ask your AI.
Prompt it. Whatever you want to learn.
I know that there is it's a different conversation. There is a definitely like two sides. Like, you have taught me stuff about using Claude Code. You saw me today saying cancel. Right? So there is definitely right and you know what's that about? It's not about the AI. It's about understanding the fundamentals. It's understanding, in this case, development. You told me about, I said, like, how can I change like the port? Like I was like run dev, like the, and then I had like I had two projects like trying to run on the same port, and you told me just change it, and I was like, what do you mean change it where? Because like in my head I started from Webflow and I would change it, go to the settings, but then I asked my AI, like, where do I change it? It was like, go just to your package JSON. It's like, it's there. It says like where to run it, and like you can just click and change it, or ask your AI to do it. But if you don't know that thing exists, you don't know like even how to how do you do it? Like, if you don't, we talked about so many things today. If you don't know what an MD file, you won't do an HTML file, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying that everyone should understand AI. I'm just saying it's a red flag to yourself that if you're looking for the answer for things, then you don't understand AI as much as you should, right? There's no fault in that. I'm just saying that you're missing the point if you're asking for skills, Aaron, we see you, but unfortunately, guys, I do need to shoot. I need to catch a train. So that is all we've got time for in this week's AI Design and Dev. Go to Command AI Show, which just takes you through to the YouTube. Give us a subscribe on that. Go to insiders.commandaishow.com to register your interest in a may or may not be a community that we want to run. Also, it will help us guide. Actually, we'll just put you on the screen now to let you know that we are live every Friday. So catch us next Friday where we'll discuss the week in AI Design and Dev. I've been Sam.
I've been Kabarza.
Keep on vibing, baby.
Peace out.
Damn it! I should have.
I should say